All right, welcome to the last minute quick pit stop tutorial for matura examination, advanced level. Okay, quick tips just before the exam. First of all, read the instructions carefully. Okay, make sure that you understand not only the entire paper, but also individual instructions for exercises. You don't want to end up like those guys back in 2013 when there was a little bit of misunderstanding while reading the instructions. Okay, here's the sample. Exercise number 4 said, you can read that for yourself. Well, the problem was that they used the word podsumowanie, which implied that you may want to put the headings below the paragraphs. This generated a lot of confusion. Students didn't know what to do, where to put the answers, and unfortunately started protesting. Come on, it's all about reading the instructions carefully, okay, and looking at the exercises. So my tip number 1 is make sure that you know what you're doing. Now, another interesting tip that you might want to use is using your ID card to cut the exam sheet open. Okay, it's nice and easy, clean card. You've been through exams so far, so you know how to do it. Okay, now we get to the main job. Of course, before you cut it open, you read the instructions, you've done it already, so you know what to do. Listening part. Well, number 1 tip is make sure that you can hear everything nice and easy. No problems with audio quality, no problems with volume. If you have any audio problems, just report it to the teachers. Otherwise, you can't do it after the exam finishes. Pay full attention to the recordings. You always hear it twice. Make sure that the second listening, even if everything is there, is used to just verify your answers. And in case you don't know anything there, make sure that you guess right after you hear the announcement, transfer the answers to the answer sheet. This is the moment when probably you will remember the most, and this is the best moment to go with wild guessing. Otherwise, coming back later on to your listening exercise will be just playing lottery, so don't do that. Remember that they test general understanding, so very often you hear a word and you see the word in the answer, but it's not necessarily the answer. All right, moving over to reading section. One simple tip: gap filling. Okay, so you've got a part of the text removed from your reading paragraph or reading section, and you have to return it. It could be either a short passage, a bigger paragraph, maybe a whole sentence. Remember, there must be a link, usually before the gap, or sometimes after it, linking the whole thing together. Look for linkers, such as pronouns, for example. The simplest thing you can imagine. He would refer to a man, the captain, or old wizard, whatsoever. It could be the time we had, we spent in Rome, or hard work, or just a baby. Okay, these would be the phrases and other linkers that would direct your attention and say, okay, this is the correct answer. So much for reading, because I believe that grammar would be the one that would generate most problems and would be probably the most difficult part. We're talking, of course, exercise number 8, exercise number 9, the open exercises in which you have to produce an actual answer. Let's have a look at exercise number 8, starting from 2015 when the change was implemented, and a slightly different, of course, scoring and format of the exam was introduced. This is 2015, gap filling, simple exercise in my opinion, because when you have to produce the word on your own, it means that they're going to use a fixed phrase or a fixed collocation, something that always goes together and leaves no chances of producing more than one correct answer. So I think it's not that difficult as it may seem at the very beginning. This is 2016, surprise, surprise, especially those who went to grammar school, because this is exactly the same format. Of course, slightly different grammar here. You need to choose 4 of these and put them into right form so that they complete the passage. Okay, and then going back to probably the most popular, very typical grammar exercise. You may know it from your Cambridge certificates, a word building exercise in which you have to take the word given, change its form into another word. That could be variety of options here. Remember, think of the negative prefixes that would change the meaning of the word. So reliable, unreliable, patient, impatient, that would be very often a trick there. Also, pay attention to verb noun forms. Sometimes you may want to need plural noun instead of singular noun. So these are probably the things also you have to be aware of. All right, moving over to Matura 2010, back to gap filling. 2019, again, gap filling. Okay, and this is Operon, last year's mock examination. Again, this is with the words given. So as you can see, there is a limited number of these exercises. Now, moving over to exercise number 9.